Hi, good morning. Welcome back to House of Light. My name's Ceri and this is my husband Adrian and one of our wonderful children, Arlo. And yeah, we're here in, we call it the Moroccan Snug in House of Light in some beautiful winter sunshine this morning. And yeah, we just thought we would do a live stream just to check in with everybody, reconnect with everybody who has ever visited us or is ever planning to, and just let you know how our season went. We've had our first full season, which is really exciting. So we thought we'd just share some of our experiences and trials and tribulations and high points and low points. So yeah, just checking in. We've got the lovely Sally who's going to sit behind the camera and fire some questions at us, support us through the interview.
Hello, Margaret.
Yeah,
Margaret.
Hi Margaret, I know that you're watching. It's lovely that you've joined us.
Nice to meet you the other day in Berlin 61.
Okay, should I just fire some questions?
I think,
at you?
yeah. We'll go for it.
So, how did the retreat season go for you?
Oh, well, it was just fantastic to see the place up and running. How we built it, wasn't it? I mean, we've put many years into creating the place, and then we launched just before COVID, and we'd already had quite a few retreats over the years as we were building, hadn't we? But when we finally went, okay, we're ready, let's go, it got scuppered by all the travel restrictions. So we had 2 years of nothing much happening, and so this year it's been great to see it thriving and full and busy. And
yeah, really exciting.
How many retreats did you have?
We had 16 in the end, I think, didn't we? Which was brilliant. Yeah, just, you know, enough to really get the energy going and feel like we were properly running, but not so much that we were completely exhausted. It was good. It was good.
Yeah.
And what variety of retreats did you have?
We had all sorts, everything from yoga to therapy retreats to creative writing. Ceremonial, shamanic retreats, didn't we?
Yeah, some women-only retreats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really nice mix across the board.
Mix, yeah.
But all carrying the theme of what our vision and value for House of Light was, which is basically transformation. So it was nice to see that can come in so many different forms. You know, we watched it happen through the creative writing, through the yoga, through the therapy, and a realisation that we don't have to be so narrow-minded about maybe what we think transformation looks like.
Microphone.
Sorry, somebody's faffing with my microphone. But yeah, a wonderful mix of retreats.
How are you feeling now that it's actually over, that your run has completed for this year?
Definitely enjoying the swing of the pendulum. It was wonderful to be running, and that was one kind of energy. And now it feels like good timing actually, as we're moving into winter. It feels a little bit more like we're going back into hibernation and just a bit more time for the family. And we moved house, so a bit more kind of nesting and making our space beautiful and cosy for the winter.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What was the favourite memory? Each of you got a favourite memory?
What was yours?
Mine would be the day that one of our leaders arrived, Lee, because we'd been on such a journey with her. She had booked in with us before COVID, and then sadly through COVID her mother actually passed away, and it still feels weird that we never got to meet Jenny. It feels like we knew her. We had lots of communication with them and a really nice connection. So that was obviously really challenging for Lee, and but she stuck with it, and she was our relationship developed over the years that it was. So when she finally made it here with her group and ran her retreat, to see her in the flesh and give her a huge hug and for us to connect properly was a high point, I think, of the season.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
And her orchid is still alive.
We've got your orchid alive, Lee, don't worry.
Adrian, what about you?
Yeah, I think my favourite memory, although it was a challenging time, was at one point sitting in the office and realising that I was quite overwhelmed, but it was running, and I was overwhelmed because it was running and because we got retreat after retreat, and I suddenly realised, wow, this is happening. We're running this. It's flowing, and we did a process for our vision and values many years ago, didn't we, to really clinch what it is we wanted to do here. And part of that process was to look at where will we be in 5 years' time, what sorts of things we would like to be happening. And I sat and realised, wow, with that, we've got repeat people coming, we've got the kind of feedback, people getting to find deeper places in themselves and do the work here. There's so many aspects that we were hoping to achieve and that are falling into place. And that was it was a favourite memory for me to think, wow, it's happening, it's here.
What do you think you learnt most about this year with back-to-back retreats?
So much. So much. It was quite a steep learning curve. Everything from learning how to manage our energy and the staff, how to keep everybody's energy high, how to keep the momentum going, how to look after everybody around us so that the team keeps functioning, at its in its most efficient, in its most best way. Just listening to the feedback as well. We give out feedback forms to all of the guests that come through. So reading through all of the feedback forms and realising what the high points are for people and how to maintain those. And also, I think you were mentioning the other day that somebody noticed that every time they come, there was something a little bit different, or something had been changed or improved, or for us to keep pouring that energy and that love into House of Light, to keep it evolving. Lots of different lessons.
And the different flow. There's a flow, for instance, the arrival day and the leaving days of full on energy wise, and the day or 2 days between. And then there's a middle section of the retreats, where actually there's a bit of a lull from my perspective, from where I am within the operation, and learning to have that energy flow, to get used to that flow and work with it. But then that flow changes very much on the sort of retreat that's in as well. So riding the energy, being able to be present and not and working with it, that learning that flow. It's not like a normal 9-to-5 job. It's not the same every day. It's very different at the beginnings and the ends of weeks and the middles of the weeks.
Did either of you have a low point when you moved?
I think we moved house right in the middle of the season, and living out of cardboard boxes with the sound of builders from when we woke up till
with 3 small children that were on school holiday and trying to run the retreats. We kind of bit off a little bit more than we could chew, and we've learned our lesson. That was another learning. We won't be doing that again.
We won't move house next year.
For House of Light to run, what sort of staff do you have on board to keep the flow of retreats flowing?
So, because they're all so flipping brilliant, very few actually, compared to, I think, other centres. We've got the wonderful Sally behind the camera that you can't see at the moment, but a lot of you have met if you've been here, helping us, let's be honest, completely controlling all the admin of the organisation. Then Bobby in the garden, and then my kitchen goddesses. Let me think, there must be 6 or 8 members of staff in the kitchen, and then an extra
probably 6 or 7
people. They come through, housekeeping, cleaning, kitchen assistants. But it feels like a family. We're so lucky to be able to employ our friends, basically, and get to hang out and work with our friends. So there's a very family feel to House of Light. And we're blessed with an amazing crew of people to help us out.
You mentioned your kitchen goddesses. Did you have a favourite recipe that went down really well with the groups? And Adrian, just be careful of rubbing against the microphone.
Let me think, a favourite recipe. One of the lunchtime ones that always goes down well is a sweet potato pizza stack. which is basically grated up sweet potatoes, fried with onion and garlic, and it makes like almost like a pizza base, and then you pile mozzarella and pesto and olives on top. So that's a really yummy one. Obviously, all of the puddings tend to go down well. There's lots of favourite puddings, but yeah, I mean, for me, a passion is raw and sugar-free puddings and cakes. So I think, you know, you can't go wrong with chocolate. We do a raw chocolate fudge that is just, I mean, how can you go wrong with ingredients like, yeah, cacao and maple syrup and peanut butter. So that was probably another one. And yeah, another one that we tried out this year, a sabich salad. We get these beautiful homemade Moroccan flatbreads locally, and then you layer that up with roasted aubergine, hummus, tomato salsa, some sliced boiled egg for the non-vegans, and a tahini drizzle, and that just looks so colourful and so beautiful. That was another good one. Yeah, anyway, stop me. I could go on and on.
Cue the live stream for your next cooking.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but yeah, so much inspiration from my crew, and I'm so lucky that they're so inspiring and so passionate about what they do as well.
And what about the gardens, Adrian? Is there anything new in the gardens? And
yeah, we put a lot of new trees in. Sadly, we had a beetle's been going through taking out the agaves, and we had some giant, some really beautiful, great big agaves on the land, and many smaller ones, which we've had to let them all go because the beetle gets in, and much the same as it did with the pine trees in this area. So we're putting in some cypress to replace those, and we've got some what are they called, Amazonia cypresses, and some totem cypresses going in. And there's
the
various
podrania, we've got a trailing flower which has really come into its own in this year. As you walk down one of the terraces, there's just this big curtain of leaves and beautiful pink flowers. It's quite dramatic. That's looking great.
Everyone mentions it, don't they?
Yeah, yeah.
That's my pet plant.
What about retreats next year?
Yeah, super exciting. We've got a really full lineup again next year. Lots of returning leaders and lots of new. I think we've got 6 or 7 newcomers to House of Light. So again, a really nice mix. Yeah, we feel really blessed with the people that have found us, however they've managed to find us. And again, a real mix, everything from detox to yoga to some shamanic and kind of ritual work. Yeah. Some tantra this year, yeah.
And you've got there's a special relationship with Abdia from Modest Fitness, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's really growing, isn't it?
Yeah. I must admit, when people come to House of Light, if they've never run a retreat before, it's a difficult thing to put together, you know, to get people to commit to it and to all the organisation. So when Abdia first arrived and she hadn't run a retreat before, we really connected with her and we were really rooting for her, but you never know. And she just booked retreat after retreat, and she fills them. She's so good at what she does. She's such a wonderful energy to be around. So yeah, we've hosted 4 retreats for Abdia this year, and I think she's booked in for 5 next year. So yeah, that's a beautiful relationship that's blossoming there. I feel really lucky.
Is there anything you'd like to share with the leaders that were with you this year?
An enormous thank you. It's been great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Working with the leaders, seeing what they bring. It's just an enormous thank you, heartfelt.
I mean, the journey that I talked about that we went through with Lee, that was a particularly strong and deep connection, but lots of the leaders we had that with, that were battling through the COVID times, and that they were really loyal to us, they stuck by us, and they didn't give up, and they eventually got out here. So
and do yoga with me as well.
Yeah. I mean, Fiji is one of the first people that I contacted when we were ready to run, because I'd followed her classes for years online, and yeah, I thought, she lives in Canada, she's never going to come over here, but I just emailed her, and again, that's a really special connection that's developed there, because it was just perfect timing. She was looking for somewhere in Europe, and she came over, and now that connection is spreading to other Do Yoga With Me teachers. We've now got to meet Tracy, and we've got Josh coming next year,
And Rachel.
and Rachel, yeah. So,
And I had my favourite teachers, Christian and Andrew and Amana, brought a silent retreat here, which is very special for me because it's kind of the Learning Love model. It's kind of a family for me out there that I go to the trainings, go to the retreats myself. For them to come here was very special. Yeah.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share from this year? He's like, breathe.
I mean, to say thank you doesn't really cover it. It's just such a deep appreciation on all levels. For me, for my family, for the support of Adrian, to the House of Light family, to all of the leaders. I just feel so grateful not only to live here but to be able to share this with people. I do pinch myself almost mornings. Yeah.
And what are your plans over the winter when it's quieter?
Fiddling around doing odd jobs, maybe put some more lighting in the kitchen, in the gardens and around the pool, and there's just seeing how the garden matures and giving it space and time.
Putting together a recipe PDF. I'm going to say it out loud, so it's going to force me to do it. I've been meaning to put together either a recipe book for years, but then with 3 children that was a bit challenging. So it was actually Fiji who suggested to me, why don't you do a PDF instead? So that feels more manageable. And lots of people ask for recipes, so for me that's something I'm going to try and get together over the winter.
Fantastic. Okay, so
brilliant.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks Sally, and thanks for anyone
Sally.
who joined us or anyone watching.
Thanks for watching.
Margaret says, goodness, I'm starving now. She obviously talked all that talk about your food, and it is
Me
delicious.
too.
It's almost lunchtime.
Almost, yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks so much, and we will see you all very soon. Lots of love.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.